Hello students, you are welcome in limits and derivatives part 5. This is chapter 13. In the last period we have done binomial theorem and we will have questions based on binomial theorem today. What is binomial theorem? Just to have a quick revision. If you have a plus b raised to the power n and value of n is either 4 or more than 4, because for n is equal to 2 and n is equal to 3 we have formulas we have done, so you can expand them using binomial and using the identities we have done. So that's why I'm saying n is either 4 or greater than 4. In that case you need this formula. So a plus b raised to the power n, it is nc0 a raised to the power n plus nc1 a raised to the power n minus 1 into b, and so on up to ncn b raised to the power n. So this is the formula. Now move on to this question number 6 based on this. Evaluate limit x tends to 0 of x plus 1 raised to the power 5 minus 1 upon x. Now you substitute x by 0 and try to check whether it is 0 upon 0 or not. When you substitute, when you put x0, at x0 you can say it is 0 upon 0 type. So that's why we need simplifications. So these type of simplification, this formula that will be applied when you are getting indeterminate forms. So it means we have to expand this to avoid indeterminate form. So expand this. Now expand using binomial theorem. First term is x, a is x. In this you can compare the formula with this. B is 1. So n is 5. 5c0 x raised to the power 5 plus 5c1 x raised to the power 4 into 1. That's why I have not written 1. Plus 5c2 x raised to the power 3 into 1 square. That is also same term. 5c3 x square, 5c4 x, 5c5 minus 1 divided by x. Now you put the values. 5c0 is equal to 5c5 is equal to 1 we have done in combination using formula NCR. 5c1 is equal to 5c4, that will be equal to 5. 5c2 is equal to 5c3 and that will be equal to 10 after simplification. So you put values here and after putting the values 1 will be cancelled. So now from the remaining terms you take x common, and after x common, this is the numerator, denominator is x can be cancelled. Now after this simplification, so we will again check at 0 whether we are getting indeterminate form or not. At 0 now it is 5, this is not indeterminate form, so that's why this 5 is the answer. So that's why we can say limit x tends to 0 of x plus 1 raised to the power 5 minus 1 upon x is 5. So I hope it is clear. Now we have one standard form for limits. Standard form is the first formula for limit, you can say limit x tends to a of x raised to the power n minus a raised to the power n upon x minus a. You check it. So if it is a, then limit must tends to a, and x raised to the power n minus a raised to the power n, here n may be any real number. So then value of this limit is n into a raised to the power n minus 1. So we can directly apply this formula. This is formula to evaluate these type of functions. When function is written or reducible to this form, then we can apply this formula. So it is the same question. We can also use this standard form to this question. So the same question, this is alternate method, x plus 1 raised to the power 5 minus 1 upon x. Now if you put x plus y is equal to y, this is not the standard form we have discussed. So we will reduce this function to the standard form. For that, assume x plus y is equal to y. Value of x will be y minus 1. Now when x tends to 0, if you put x 0 here, so y minus 1 tends to 0, then y will tends to 1. It means when x 0, y is 1. When x is approaching 0, then y will approach 1. So it means while changing the variable, we will change the limits like this. So x plus y is equal to y, so y raised to the power 5 minus 1. X is y minus 1, and limit, now change x by y, so y tends to 1. You have to change the values like this. Then you can compare this with this standard form. Here it is 1, so 1 can be written as 1 raised to the power 5, and this is 1, so y tends to 1, so it means we can apply the formula now. A is 1 and n is 5, so it is equal to n into a raised to the power n minus 1. So therefore limit y tends to 1 of y raised to the power 5 minus 1 upon y minus 1 will be equal to 5 into 1 raised to the power 5 minus 1, and that will be equal to 5. So 5 is the value of limit of this function, and this is equal to the same previous function we have converted. So it means limit x tends to 0 of x plus 1 raised to the power 5 minus 1 upon x is equal to 5. This is the answer. Now move on to question number 8. Limit x tends to 3 x raised to the power 4 minus 81 upon 2x square minus 5x minus 3. We will check. At x is equal to 3, the function is having indeterminate form 0 upon 0. So that's why we need simplification. Here it is easy to factorize, so use factorization method. So factorize using x square minus a square, so we will have two factors. Then factorize denominator by splitting the middle term like this. Now again factorize x square minus 9 using the same method. So x minus 3, these are the factors of numerator. Similarly factors of denominator. Now cancel the common factor x minus 3, and now after cancellation you check whether still we are having indeterminate form or not. When at x is equal to 3, this is 108 upon 7, this is not indeterminate form, so that's why this is the answer. So it means limit of this function is equal to 108 upon 7, and this is the answer for this question. I hope it is clear to all of you. Question number 10. Limit z tends to 1, z raised to the power 1 by 3 minus 1 upon z raised to the power 1 by 6 minus 1. At z1, this function is 0 upon 0, means indeterminate form. It means we need simplification. To use this formula, to use this standard form, so this question is not in the standard form, so we will reduce it to standard form. It means if in the numerator we will have z minus 1, then we can apply the formula here. Similarly in denominator. So to reduce this into standard form, we will divide numerator and denominator by z minus 1. So divide by z minus 1. So we will have z tends to 1, z raised to 1 by 3 minus 1 upon z minus 1. Similarly denominator. Use algebra of limits to write the limits separately, limit of numerator divided by limit of denominator, and then apply limits. Now we can apply standard form to this. This is the standard form, and we know it is equal to n into a raised to the power n minus 1. So we apply the formula here. Value of n is 1 by 3, a is 1, so 1 by 3 into 1 raised to the power 1 by 3 minus 1. Similarly to denominator, 1 by 6 into 1 raised to the power 1 by 6 minus 1, and we can simplify, you will get 2, and this is the answer. So I hope it is clear. Now we will discuss limits of trigonometric functions. Limit x tends to 0 of sin x. When you substitute x 0, so it is 0. This is not indeterminate form. If it is indeterminate, then we have to apply the standard formula, otherwise standard formula or that is not required. So it is equal to 0. Limit x tends to 0 of cos x, it is 1, you can substitute. So similarly limit x tends to 0 of tangent x, that is 0. Limit x tends to 0 of cotangent x, because at 0 sin x will be, this function is 0, denominator is 0, so it means it is not defined. Similarly secant x is 1, limit x tends to 0 of cosecant x, that is also not defined. Now limit of the trigonometric functions. Limit x tends to pi by 3 of tangent x, this is also not defined. We know that tangent of 90 is not defined, so this is also not defined. Now standard form in trigonometric functions. This is the second standard form of this exercise, or the first form of trigonometric functions. Limit x tends to 0 of sin x upon x, that will be equal to 1. You check here at 0, so we are getting here 0 upon 0, it is undeterminate form. So that's why now this is standard formula, and the proof of this is not in your syllabus. We can use the expansion of sin x. Sin x have some certain expansions in polynomial form, and that proof is not required. So x at x0, so it will be equal to 1. Now when this formula will be applied, at x0 this function, this angle, that must be 0, and the same function you must have here. If this is angle, so if angle is in degrees, then denominator must be angle in degrees. If x in radians, then it must be x in radians. So we have the same units, so it is equal to 1. If it is 2x, then denominator must be 2x. So I hope it is clear. So this is second standard form. Limit x tends to 0 of cos x. At 0, this is numerator is 1, denominator is 0, so it is not defined. Limit x tends to 0 of tangent x upon x. So tangent x can be written as sin x upon cos x, and we can apply the limit, so it is also equal to 1. So tangent x upon x, you can apply this as a standard formula, so it will be equal to 1. So this is third formula, you can say directly you can apply this. There is no need of this simplification. Now one question based on this formula to understand the application. 13th question, limit x tends to 0 of sin ax upon bx. Now we cannot directly apply this formula here, because this is ax here, this is bx here, we must have the same function. It means it can be written like this, write down b separately, sin ax upon x. Now to reduce into standard formula, we will have to make here ax. So that's why multiply and divide it by a like this, and then write down separately a with this b. So limit of a upon b, sin ax upon ax when x tends to 0. You can write the limit like this, and this is standard form. Now this is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1. So a upon b into 1, and answer is a upon b. So a upon b is the answer. So that's all for today. So homework for today is you try to solve the questions up to 13. So thank you.